Hello friends, welcome back to the Muddy Boots Maker podcast. For those who are new here, my name is Amy and it's been a while since I have popped in to say hello and show you what I've been making. I had all the intentions of doing a monthly podcast this year and things got away from me. I've had a bit of some health things going on, so I've been dealing with those in a natural way, and it just takes time when you do it that way. I'm feeling so much more like myself now, which is great, but I've still got a little bit of a journey to go, and I haven't been able to work as much. That has been a little bit challenging. I have got so much to do, so many things that I want to do for my business. I've also been working less outside of my business as well. So there's been less of an income, which has been a little bit challenging, just keeping my business going as well. It's just me now making in my studio, and I'm not getting in here as often as I would like. Through this journey that I'm going on, the garden has been my saviour, really. So I've been out in the garden a lot. However, today, or this week, actually, the whole week, is going to be raining. So I thought it was about time I sat down and did a podcast episode. I cannot remember where I left off with the last episode, and I haven't had a look. So I'm just going to go by what I'm doing at the moment, what I've been working on, which hasn't been a huge amount. You can see some examples here next to me. There's also one in front of me that I am going to show you. So there's 4 projects happening, and I've got other WIPS, and I've probably finished one project which my daughter has been wearing, and I will just show that to you in another episode if I find out when I go to edit this and I have a little look at the last episode. I will show you in the next episode. So yeah, I'm a little bit rusty at this, but my main reason for popping in here was to spruik Pam and my advent calendar. So you would have seen me opening the advent that we did last year for December, for Christmas, and this year we're doing an advent again. So there is the option of a 12-day advent or a 24-day advent. I have also added in a pure herbal advent. So it's a 12-day advent, just getting my herbal offerings, so my herbal balms. So there is one of those as well. And I have also added a 24-day fabric advent as well, which will be fun to do. I'm looking forward to putting it together. I've already sold some of the fabric advents, and we've sold 24-day advents, Pam and I, with the yarn and the herbal offerings. So if you remember last year's, if you followed along with my vlogs last year, you would have seen all of the offerings. And so we're going with earthy tones again, and Pam has some ideas up her sleeve to make it a little bit different, but her colours are just spot on, beautiful colours. So you'll be getting mini skeins from her. So if you're getting the 24-day one, you'll be getting 12 mini skeins from Pam, and you'll be getting 12 herbal offerings from me. So the things that people got last year, and there'll be a few similar things that you'll be getting in your herbal offerings this year. However, I've got a few new things to pop in them, and I'm really looking forward to that. There are a few items that will assist you in your knitting as well, some handmade trinkets for your knitting. So I'm looking forward to putting those together. I have been meaning to put them together for quite a few years now, ever since I was doing Patreon. So I'm looking forward to that. So the pre-sales are up on my website and they will be closing. I think we need to close them at the end of September to be able to then make the quantity that has been sold. So if you wish to get an advent from Pam and I, or one of my advents, just pop over to my website. I'll put the link in the description below, and yeah, pop over there and have a little look. There are options for payment on there as well, so if you need to use Afterpay or anything like that, there are options on my website for that. And lastly, I have a little bit of a sale, a herbal sale going on my website at the moment. I have quite a few of my calendula balms. This is one that I keep in my knitting basket here next to me. So I have these calendula balms on sale at the moment, just because with the cold weather, the beeswax in them has reacted a little bit, and they have sort of a few like little dots on the top. So they are perfectly fine though. You can see that I've used this one here, and I have taken away most of the white dots that were on the top. That's sort of the beeswax rising to the top, or the oils, something separating there. But it was fine. I mean, it just melts into your hand once you pick it up anyway. And I have a sale on my sinus and headache balm, which is fantastic for this time of the year. I'm constantly putting it just under my nostrils at night and a little bit on my chest, just to open the airways a little bit more, while it can be, you know, we're inside and it can be a bit stuffy, especially coming into hay fever season when I can feel a little bit congested. I highly recommend it for that. So I've got those on sale, but I also wanted to pop a little discount code down here for you. If you do want to hop along over to my website and make an order before the end of August, you can pop in this code and get a discount, a further discount on things that will just help me immensely. I'm trying to keep my business going while I'm not able to be so active, but also I'm trying to get through my fabrics and get some new fabrics hopefully for next year. It's been a while since I've been able to purchase new fabrics, and this is just something that I think a lot of small businesses are feeling, is that sales are down. I've had a lot of my wholesalers close their shops. However, I have just amazingly reaped the benefits of about 8 or 10 new wholesalers sign up this year, which is fantastic. But the orders are small because people, you know, businesses just can't put as much money into it as they used to. So this is a main reason why I started to work outside of the home, outside of my business. But yeah, not being able to work as much at the moment. And it's kind of nice not having to work so much outside of the home, but you can feel it as a business. Like, I can feel that I'm at that point where I'm like, do I keep going? Do I not? But I love it so much, and I want to try to keep it going. Oh, some gorgeous rosellas have just come down onto the Rio in my veggie garden that I can see out the back here. So lovely. All right, let's move on to what I have been working on. And well, something that I have been working on, but I sort of put it down because it's not as easy to do while we're watching our family movies. And that's kind of the time that I have to sit and knit. So I wanted something easier to work on, but I will show you this project. Okay, and these are the yarns that I'm working with for this project. So they're Bendigo Woolen Mills yarns. These ones are their sock yarn, and this one here is a classic 5-ply yarn. So I'm actually working with a 4 and a 5-ply, and I'm finding it fine doing this. So this project is the Pressed Flowers cardigan, and I have had this on my wish list for so long, and I'm really, oh, it looks so nice on the screen. It's amazing how different it looks when you're looking at it up close, but further away, you can really see those little flower parts popping out. So I'm rotating the balls of yarn to try and do some sort of gradation of colours, but I'm really loving how it's turning out. I was going to do it just with the pinks, but I'm really enjoying the blues and the golds coming out as well. So I'm doing quite a larger size. I haven't written down on my, just got my Ravelry here to my Ravelry notes so that I can hopefully be as informative as possible. So it's by Savory Knitting, and hers is sort of a more creamier grey that she has on hers, but she has different colours going throughout her flowers as well. So I was sort of basing it on, because I really love her one that she's done, and I think working with the 5 and the 4 ply is just working out fine, because the 5 ply, I mean, there's not a huge difference, but the gauge is working out to be just fine. So that's good. And it's just so very lovely. I really, really love these colours that I've chosen to work with. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having this. I don't have many cardigans in my wardrobe that I enjoy wearing. I've got one that's very thick. It's very thick and bulky. And then I've got one that is thinner but sort of floppy, and the structure of it's not there. It's a very soft yarn. So this year I really wanted to work on some cardigans, and I have shown you the heirloom quilt cardigan that I was working on. I haven't been working on that, so I won't be showing that to you today, but I've been working on that, and I've been working on this, and I chose these 2 projects so that I would have some cardigans hopefully this winter. But it's not going to happen this winter, but I will be able to wear this one definitely in spring and some summer nights, I'm sure, because it gets quite cool here in summer. Sorry, I just got interrupted by an alarm on my phone, and now I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, I haven't been able to work on this as much because it requires, I mean, it doesn't require too much concentration, but it requires me to look at the work occasionally when I'm slipping the stitches, because this is knit. It's not a colour work, it's knitted where you're slipping the other colour. So that's how you're slipping stitches. And I like this method, but sometimes it requires me to look at the work. So I'm still, working on this occasionally, but it's been sitting here in my studio for a while now. And I've been working on something else, which is more important, and I have another project to cast on, which was also important. And now my son's told me I can't keep up with the pressure from my kids of them wanting more, they need jumpers to wear. They keep growing. My son is growing so fast. He's so much taller than me now. He's like up here, and my youngest daughter is just like half an inch away from being taller than me, and my eldest, she was taller than me ages ago. So yeah, my eldest is pretty much stopped growing, so at least I know for her I can make an adult size, and it's going to last, hopefully it's going to last a long time. So what else have I got up here? I have got this beautiful blanket that I was thoroughly enjoying making. So I started this back in March, and I pretty much just worked on this for the whole entire of March and April, and I need to stand up, I think, to show you the entirety of it. But I've been working on this Cozy Memories blanket for Hazel. And I need to do a border around it. I want to do some sort of border, but I haven't made up my mind yet, and I haven't decided what colour to do it. I think I'll do the border in one of the greys because I've got more of these greys, more of the yarn. Whereas I've used a lot of the yarns in these, so I run out of most of the yarn, and yeah, it's just a little lap blanket. I made one for Charlotte, and yeah, so now I'm making one for Hazel. I didn't make a Cozy Memories one for Charlotte. It was a long time ago that I made Charlotte's. I crocheted. No, it wasn't knitted. I don't know, it was a circular blanket. And then I went to try and crochet. Yeah, so it was knitted, and then I went to try and crochet around it to make it bigger. But yeah, just making them some little lap blankets, just some cozy lap blankets. So I need to make one for Samuel too. And I will be using scraps for Samuel's as well. But I thoroughly enjoyed making this. Let me pop up and show you it completely. So there it is. It's just a tiny little square, and it just makes me so happy. It reminds me of patchwork blankets, like quilted blankets. So lovely. So I'm really looking forward to putting the border on it and finally giving it to Hazel. All right, so something else that I have been working on for Hazel is another dress. So I have made one of these dresses. I made it originally for Charlotte, and Hazel has been wearing it for the last couple of years, couple of winters. So she requested another dress in a larger size because it's getting quite small and quite tight on the arms. So this is the Fern and Feathers sweater that I made into a dress. It's by Jennifer Steingass. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. And one thing with Jennifer's patterns is that the arms can be quite thin. So I've always adjusted my patterns my jumpers that I've made with her patterns to make them larger. So with that dress that Hazel's been wearing, it is quite tight on her arms. So I'm making a larger size, and I think I'm doing size 3 in the women's, but I'm using 8 ply, and the pattern requires 10 ply. So I'm using DK, and it calls for Aaron, but I'm pretty sure in the last one I used DK as well. And what I've done is I've added a few more stitches underneath the armholes or in the armpit area, so that the arms will be larger. But here it is. There's a little bit of pilling already happening with this yarn. I'm using Bendigo Woolen Mill's new yarn called Whisper, and this colorway, the blue, is the Baltic colorway, and then the creamy color is the Magnolia colorway. So it's looking pretty small if I put it against myself. I have fit it on her, and it fits well. It has room as well, which is fantastic. I don't mind if it just lasts a couple of years. I really enjoy making these, so I'm sure I will be making her another dress for next winter, because as soon as I showed her this, she's like, that's not the pattern that I asked for. So she was thinking of me making another one of another dress that I've made for Charlotte, which then Hazel's been wearing, and it doesn't have colour work on it. So she was thinking of that dress, but that dress I would have to do some major alterations to the pattern because it only goes to size 8. I already did some alterations to make it go to, or year, like 8 years old size, which is, I guess, is a size 8 in kids. So I adjusted it to make it to go to like a size 12. and to adjust it further, I probably could easily do that. But I've already started on this one, so she will be wearing this one. But her other one of this needs a little bit of mending, and her other dress, the one that she thought I was going to make another one of, is wearing out. Like I think it's already got a hole under the arm. It's wearing out at the bottom, at the back where she sits a lot. So I could do some mending on that one, and it would, it still fits her, so it would still last through this winter. But I've really failed at getting on top of my mending. I've been doing mending workshops all winter, and they've been really great. I've been really enjoying them. There have been a few times, because of my health things, I've been getting really sick and just cold and virus and one after the other. This month I've been feeling fantastic though, so that's great. So yeah, I could do some mending on her other dresses, and that would make them last through this winter better. But I've been really slack on having the time to knit, let alone, like I started this one in July, and this is as far as I've gone, and this is the only thing I've been knitting on since the 1st of July. So yeah, I haven't done much. I mean, it's just knitting in the round now, except my needles, I don't know, there's a bit of a mess of where my needles are at the moment. So I'm using these needles at the moment that are too long for the project. So I'm having to do the magic loop type thing, which is kind of annoying. Actually, now that I've added on a few more stitches, I may be able to just knit in the round. So I'm gradually increasing as I go down to make more of a silhouette in the dress part, and I will be finishing it off the same way as I finished off the last dress. I did a hem at the bottom, so I'm looking forward to that, but at the moment it's just knit, knit, knit. Now with this yarn, this new yarn, it is so soft, and as I said, it is pilling a little bit on the inside. I think I was knitting just this neck part here. There's quite a little bit of pilling, you could probably see here. I think that's because of my gardening hands being quite rough on that particular day that I was knitting. So there is a bit of that happening, and then there's none after that. Or perhaps it's more the white that's doing that and not the blue yarn, because I don't see any pilling on the blue yarn. So it's possibly just the white, because yeah, actually, now that I look at it, all the pills are coming off the white yarn. So perhaps it's the white yarn that's doing that. I don't remember the neck sitting this way, like it's sort of rolling out and showing the inside. You can see the rows there. I'm sure this will come out with blocking, but yeah, I don't remember seeing that in the neck on the last one. So I'll have to just have another look at the last dress that I made in this pattern. So yeah, I'm hoping this, I mean, it's probably going to stretch out quite a decent amount. It's quite stretchy. I'm using larger needles because I'm using thinner yarn. I decided to use larger needles, but I haven't made note on those needles, and I can't find my needle gauge measurer thing at the moment. I have 2 of them, and for the love of me at the moment, just I think with my scattered mind, I'm finding it hard to stay organized with certain things, and I've been cleaning out my studio slowly. I don't have as much time or energy to put into cleaning out, so it takes longer. Can you hear that rain? It is so lovely having the rain. I'm going to be knitting on this today. I'm just going to take it along with me to our homeschool meet later on today and just keep knitting on this. While I'm at it with show and tell and things about Hazel, she made me this gorgeous little, what do you call it, like a little zip pouch for my birthday in May. How beautiful is that? So she made it with my mum, and it has a little zip, and there's some gorgeous, got some needles in here, but there's some gorgeous fabric on the inside, and it's all hand stitched. It's so lovely. The zip is gorgeous too. It came as a kit, and then she's written that on the back, or stitched it on the back rather. But it is just so lovely, and so I'm making this my new knitting trinket pouch. I think it's going to do well for me. I've got a few of them because I usually have one with every project. So this one is sitting with the project I'm working on for her. Okay, and the last project, I can't remember where I was at when I showed this last. I think I did do an episode. It must have been about cutting down, doing the cutting down here and asking your advice. And I haven't done anything on this since, so don't really need to show it, but I'm going to block it. That's what I'm going to do over these rainy days. I'm going to block it. It would have been great to have blocked it last week when it was really nice and sunny. It would have dried nicely. Maybe I'll wait till next week and see what the weather's like next week. But I would like to have this functioning soon, and it really is not going to take much. I just need to cut it. So yeah, I haven't gotten very far with this, but that's all right. I will get there eventually. So I have a few other projects in mind, tagged, ready to cast on. One in particular is a jumper for Charlotte. She is in desperate need of another one, and I've got the yarn for it. I think we decided on the Garden Gate pattern, which is another Jennifer Steingass pattern. And again, I'm going to make maybe size 3, just to make it a really comfy one for her and big enough to last in, if she's going to grow anymore. And of course, to get around those thin arms that seem to be in Jennifer's patterns. Also, I didn't mention it straight up at the start, but I'm wearing my second Birkin that I made last year, I think. It is my most favourite sweater this winter. I'm so loving wearing it, and I really would like to make another one. I have got 2. I prefer this one over the other one. It's just a larger size and roomier, but I did run out of yarn, so it is quite short, and I do get, a cold stomach because it is short. So I usually wear my kidney warmer around my waist when I'm wearing this sweater, but I just love the colours. I'm absolutely in love with these colours, and if you click on the link down below, you'll be able to go to my Ravelry page. I have a link down there for my Ravelry page, and you can see my projects. This one is there, and the colours are on there, and the yarn that I used is an absolute delight. It is, a more expensive yarn, but well worth the money. And I wanted to mention too, with the new Whisper range by Bendigo Wool and Mills, it is quite expensive. It's over $20 a ball. I got this yarn on special when they had a stall at Craft Alive in Bendigo. I went along to that. I think they had a couple of dollars or $1 off each ball. So I purchased it there and got a discount. But because I'm making a dress, I had to buy quite a few balls of yarn. I've got quite a lot left over of the cream, so I will be able to use this in another project. And I'm still working on the same ball of yarn so far. I've got this much. Oh, that blew out a lot. I've got this much left on the first ball, so I think I'm going to have some of this left over, depending on how long I do the dress and how wide I take it out. But yeah, I'm kind of, and I'm going to do long sleeves on them, so I think one ball will do both sleeves. So it is going to go quite far. I think I might end up with some leftovers. I might be able to make her a beanie or something in like a colourwork beanie. So yeah, that is all I have to share with you today. I hope you are all well and that you're enjoying the changes of seasons. no matter where you are, whether you're in the northern hemisphere and things are starting to get a little bit cooler, or whether you're down here in the southern hemisphere and things are starting to warm up a little bit. Just getting some glimpses. Last week the weather was glorious and this week it's raining, but yeah, we're hoping that the rain isn't going to upset the blossoms that are just starting to poke their heads out, and that we do get some fruit this year, because the last few years with the rain and the hail that have come in late winter, early spring, we've lost a lot of the blossoms and they haven't set fruit. So we're hoping for some fruit this year, but we shall see. So make sure you go and head over to my website and check out our advents, Pam and my advents. We really appreciate your support if you can support us in that way, but also enjoy that coupon code that I've popped on the screen for all of you. I will put it in the description down below so you don't have to go and scroll and try and find it in the video if you missed out on seeing it. You're too busy knitting while I was chatting away. So I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I am really hoping to pop in here a little bit more, especially with some mending things as well. I really want to get on top of things, but I'm trying not to push myself too far and overwhelm myself with too many things. I already have a lot on my plate with the farm and my other channel, which I'm absolutely loving over there. It's really my passion at the moment is the garden, and then when I get to have a little bit of a rest and break from the garden, I get to do some knitting, which is nice. So yeah, comment below and let me know what you're working on at the moment, how your knitting or sewing or mending is going. Do take care, my friends, and I will see you again hopefully very soon.